And in response to Jonathan Diller's funeral, the New York Times is being called out for their, quote, disgraceful, deceitful report. The New York Post editorial board writing, quote, the Times stuck its report back on page A21 without even a tracer on the front page. The one local story that got that privilege was about New City trash containers. The article quoted the widow's eulogy, but not her most important or newsworthy appeal, not even in one of the online versions with no space limits at all, though it ran 1,100 plus words. Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins me now. Joe, good morning to you. You know, news organizations, they can put their thumb on the scale with what they report and also with what they don't report or what they bury. Is that what's happening here?
It's the bias of omission, right, Carly? And you say, well, they reported it, yeah, but on page A21, could you imagine, we've all seen the images, the overhead images of literally thousands of people showing up, a lot of police officers, obviously, to honor this poor man's life, who obviously was a dad to a one-year-old and a loving husband, only 31 years old. And the New York Times, there are those images right there. Does that look like a page 21 story to you? The New York Times is increasingly showing that the only thing it's good for is to, you know, wrap fish with. Not only did they bury this story, as we said, all the way on page 21, but they included this doozy. Quote, some people, particularly Republicans, have seized on the killing, unquote. Then this so-called paper of record goes on to make an argument, again, in this story that should be honoring this man and his life, that, quote, murder, felony assault, and rape are down about 2% compared with the same time last year. In other words, they appear to be saying things are getting better, and this murder, it's just an exception. And you have to go 11 paragraphs down, Carly, before you learn that the man who carried out the murder had been arrested, as you just reported, nearly 24 times before, mostly on drug-related and assault charges. Again, 11 paragraphs in, they decide to include that little tidbit. So overall, what can you say? The New York Times, or the Post in this case, is absolutely right. This is disgusting. It is deceitful. And this man deserved much better from the so-called paper of record.
Yeah, you know, Joe, you make such a great point of the imagery of the thousands of police officers flooding a city in New York. It's the New York Times. And police officers from not just across the country, but around the world, there to honor him, a former president as well. That is major news. The other thing that makes it major news is that he's a young police officer with a beautiful one-year-old boy killed by a criminal with 21 prior arrests. And the thing about this, Joe, is that President Biden constantly is trying to convince people that he is on the side of law enforcement and that he cares about crime. So when one of the biggest publications in the country, the New York Times, a paper that endorsed him last election cycle, is accused of burying this story, doesn't it make it even more difficult for the president to be perceived as tough on crime?
Oh, precisely, Carly. I mean, we talk about, yes, they endorsed Joe Biden in 2020. They haven't endorsed a Republican for president since 1956 in Dwight Eisenhower. And they've done obituaries before, by the way, Carly, for Qasem Soleimani, for example, called him the master of Iran's intrigue, a Shiite axis of power in the Middle East. The commander helped direct war in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Yemen, and became the face of Iran's efforts to build a regional bloc of Shiite power. Oh, no mention in that he also killed hundreds of U.S. troops. So, again, what they do with some people, as far as the New York Times and their obituaries, and what they're doing here, night and day. And it's shameful at this point, and Joe Biden has a real problem because he could have attended those services last week and decided to hang out with Stephen Colbert, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton, raising millions of dollars instead. Yeah,
well, the New York Post published Stephanie Diller's eulogy in full, and it is a beautiful tribute to her husband, who is a hero. Her last line is, "Rest in peace, Jonathan, the man who captured my heart and now all of New York's." It was a beautiful speech, and you can find that on the New York Post. Joe, got to leave it there. Thank you so much. Fox and Friends starts right now.